Good morning. I do not know if I will include this, but I thought I should maybe show some of the less glamorous parts about getting to these destinations. So my second flight was delayed a couple of hours, which meant that I have, because I'm still here, an almost 8-hour layover. So this was my bed last night. Right here. I laid my bags against the window, charged my phone, and then just laid on this very cold, very, very hard floor. My hips are hurting. But yeah, they don't send your bag direct through, so I had to pick it up, and then I couldn't drop it off, so I couldn't go into the boarding area, which meant the floor was my bed for 4 hours this morning. But now the bag is checked and we are boarding the second flight to Ushuaia. Soon I will be in the southernmost city of the world. Good afternoon from Argentina, Ushuaia. I landed here this morning. It's a very long journey to get here. I had to sleep in the airport overnight. But I'm here, dropped off my bags, and I'm doing a hike. I'm only here for a day and a half, so got to make the most of it. So the hike I'm doing now is the Martial Glacier hike. It will take about 3 hours round trip, but it's very up and down, and I've already had to do a hill. The hostel did give me a walking pole though for this, so that's good. I look a mess, I'm tired, don't judge me. I'm doing this. Yeah, I don't really know, I've just been told it's one of the most beautiful hikes in the area. There's only 2 parts of the 4 that are open because it's winter, but that's fine, it's still going to take 3 hours to do it. And the sun's out. So you can also hire crampons because of the snow and ice. However, as you can see, most of it has melted because today is one of the first days in, I think he said 3 months, that the sun has been out and this mountain hasn't been in shadow. So a lot of it's melted. It is the beginning of spring. I wasn't an idiot. I didn't decide to come to Patagonia in the middle of winter. It's the beginning of spring. But yeah, I met someone that was here last week and she said it was very cold, very cold. So I do think I got lucky with my timing. I didn't hire the crampons because it's so far it hasn't been that much ice. It's mainly just been mud. And there was a sign in my hostel saying don't wash your shoes in the sink, and I was like, who would wash their shoes in the sink? I can see why. Because we've only been going for maybe half an hour and they're already pretty muddy. But don't worry, I will not be washing them in the sink. I will wet whitewash them instead, like an adult. But yeah, keep going up now, up the muddy slope. I know when I'm halfway because there's a viewpoint halfway and then there's a viewpoint at the very top. And she said it would take, she reckons 2 to 3 hours to do the whole right to the top and back down. And I'm doing right to the top. I've got nothing else to do today. And yeah, I'm actually enjoying this. It's not windy at the minute, thank God. Fingers crossed. It's not raining, thank God, fingers crossed. So I'm going to go to the top. Yeah, is there anything else you need to know? I got an Uber up from the town. You can walk it, but it's a 7-kilometre walk before your 7-kilometre walk then, and I'm just going to walk it back down, so that's fine. It costs just under 7,000, which is about £3.50. and then to actually enter to do the glacier walk costs 10,000, which is about 5. I paid on card for both of them, so I can put the actual prices on the screen. At the minute, the blue dollar rate and the actual bank rate is basically the same, so I can pay on card. But if you do come, you need to make sure it is the same, because a couple of years ago you would be paying like 5 times the price if you paid on card instead of cash. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Anyway, enough talking, enough jibber jabbering, let's get a move on. Guess what? I made it to the first viewpoint. Actually, I think I made it really quickly. That should have taken like 45 minutes, I think. I don't think it even took that long. No way it took that long. And it's very sunny, so I've got to face this way. Sorry, the cold air hurts my throat. But view, gorgeous. Obviously we have this gorgeous view of the mountains here, and then look over the, I can't remember the name of that. That's a very important river apparently. But you can see past it to the white-capped mountains the other side as well. And I believe in the like actual winter, when this is covered in snow, this is currently it would be a ski slope. There are still people renting skis and snowboards from where I started the hike, but I don't have a clue where they'd do it unless they hiked up to there and then did it. But I'm also sat on a little ski chair here. I'm actually really enjoying this hike. I feel like this morning I was very tired and I still look very tired, but I was just like ready to crawl into bed, but I refused to let it happen, and I'm so glad I did, because this is a very nice walk. Very nice walk. I'm going to sit here for only a couple of minutes and enjoy the view, because the wind is picking up and it is quite cold wind. And then I will continue on to a second viewpoint and I'll see you up there. Okay, so the wind has picked up, so we have got the hat and coat on. And now we can see where we're going. So we're going to go up to this pit here. This is as far as we're allowed, and that's classed as the glacier here. I don't know how high it is, but I do have a app on my phone that will tell me when we're up there. But yeah, I'm feeling good so far. I'm enjoying the view still. That kid's got a like whole face, Spider-Man face mask on. How could you not be enjoying this? Standing next to this river is making me need the toilet though, so maybe I should start walking. But yeah, so far 10 out of 10 recommend, even if it is winter and they say it's awful. There was a bit that maybe crampons would have been useful. Going back down is going to be interesting, but so far stunning, love it, let's keep going. Sorry, the SD card was so, more on the phone. As I was saying, we have to go up these zigzags. However, no one knows where the actual end is of the zigzags, because apparently the skiers and the snowboarders just keep going until the summit, and we're not allowed to go to the summit. So, what people have been saying is that they go to here, and then this is a good viewpoint, and possibly I've seen one person up there, but I think it was this man who then just fell down there and is now just standing. So I'm probably just going to go to here like most people. Can you see it here? And yeah, I think the view is going to be pretty. How much better can it get? Unfortunately, I didn't bring my drone because everyone was like, it's super windy, and it is. It doesn't like strong bursts. But the man who just fell down the cliff is flying his, and now I'm like, it would have been gorgeous. So you'll just have to see it from the phone, because that's the only thing that's got space now. I'm going to stop talking. I look Like an Eskimo. Okay. Yeah. Also, the crampons would have been good. The slightest that effect that the walking sticks are in it, and I've got to go down there. So yeah, see you at the top. So I made it to the sign, the avalanche risk area sign, and I can no longer see, like, there's little markers along the way that have red circles on, and I don't see any more. So I'm presuming I've made it to the top. Yeah, I'm out of breath, but it's an amazing. So that island, well, it's not an island. This bit here, that is the airport, and then the town with all the houses is obviously the town. I did see an aeroplane take off, but I didn't film it in time, and I don't see any more, so I don't think we're going to see any takeoff. Lovely hike, amazing view. Now we have the fun of trying to get back down. Oh, and that guy's drone did almost crash, so I'm glad I didn't bring mine up. Okay, so that was a lot worse coming down. It was so slippery. And then when I came way up, it was like mud and I was walking up a river, so I thought, oh okay, I'll go the way everyone else is going, go down the snow. No, the snow was about 2 foot deep and I sunk into it. But we're down the worst of the snowy part now. So now we just keep going down. It's still a beautiful view, obviously. So I made it from there, came all the way down, zigzaggy down. Some guy fell on his butt, the poor thing. Well, there's a snowboarder. And then I walked down there and came down this bit of the snow and crossed the river. He's making that look a lot easier than how I did it. Yeah. So now I'm this side of the river, so it's not muddy, not icy, and hopefully safer. Hopefully. It's very windy though, so I'll put the phone away so I can put my gloves on. Good morning from day 2 in Ushuaia. Today I am in the national park, Tierra del Fuego, I think it's called. Can't remember accurately. This national park did actually cost quite a lot to get into it. It cost 30,000 Argentinian pesos or whatever they are, which works out to be about £17, and you have to pay for each day. Now, I don't have a lot of time in the national park to do walks because this afternoon I am getting a train. I will tell you more about the train later, but that's also in the national park, so I had to pay either way. So originally I wanted to do the coastal walk, which takes 4 hours, and I don't have enough time because it took longer than I thought to get here, so instead we're doing some smaller walks. The first one is here. So to start, I will be walking around the lagoons. I have until 1:30, which I'm slightly worried about because some of the bus drivers are saying 1:30. However, all of the bus drivers are saying 1:30. However, the place I actually booked it said 1 o'clock. So who do I believe? Either way, hopefully I'm getting the bus. I will message if I do not. But I'm just going to enjoy the coastal walks first. So this is a very easy walk. I mean, it's literally planked. I don't really have a lot to say. I think we can see where the coastal walk would have been from here. So hang on. Let me get to the end. So the coastal walk starts over here where this little island is, and then walks all along in and out of the coast until about there, and then you walk up. and it's 8 kilometers, and apparently it takes about 4 hours, and I only have 2.5, depending on who I trust to make sure I get this bus in time. And I wanted to do the start of it and then turn around and walk back, but they won't pick me up from that end. They have to pick me up from this end, so I can't. But I'm not fussed because, I mean, this is a pretty good view. It's a lot cloudier than yesterday, but you can't complain when this is what you're looking at. Okay, so the slightly smaller, only takes an hour walk that I wanted to do is also closed today. I don't know why, but it is. So instead I'm doing a mirador walk, which is a viewpoint walk, which apparently only takes half an hour. So let's enjoy this one. Look at the size of these two huge birds. Okay, so I think I've made it to the mirador because you can see the top of the mountains. I don't know if the snow is just I don't know if the snow is just blending in with the clouds. But they are snow-capped, like the one I climbed yesterday. I think the one I climbed yesterday is like over that way somewhere. These walks are so much easier than yesterday. I don't think I even needed the poles. But when someone offers you walking poles, you use them. Or you carry them, at least. Yeah, this is a pretty good view. Okay, so update from when I last filmed. I've done a few more walks. They've all been like 30-minute, 40-minute walks. Nothing too interesting, mainly just walking through the trees. However, I did just see a woodpecker, an actual real live wild woodpecker, just hammering into the tree. I'll put a video of that in now. And now I'm on a beaver walk, which basically leads to where the beavers have like made their dams and they live. And apparently there is quite a few beavers surrounding me right now. However, I cannot see any. We have got, let's have a look. We have got lots of water, and apparently they have made tunnels underneath so they can get between. But I've been looking and I can't see any beavers. But once again, amazing views. You've got the mountains behind there. Very good. I do only have either half an hour or an hour until my bus leaves. And it takes an hour to walk up. So I'm nowhere near the road. So I might walk to the road and see if I can hitchhike up. But we'll see. If not, I might miss this and I might miss my train. You can see the mountain there as well. But hopefully I'm going to get move on and we'll make it. After walking about half of the distance and being ignored by all the tour companies and all of the locals basically that I thought might actually pick me up considering how much you pay to get in the park, kind of thought like everyone would be friendly, I got picked up by two people that had rented a car from Spain and Germany. Lovely men. I think they're down there now looking over the lake. Let's have a zoom in and a moment of appreciation for these blokes. If they hadn't of brought me up, I might have made it because the bus isn't here, but I didn't want to risk that. And now I've had time to go to the toilet and I can eat my orange, so yes, good. I've met a lot of people that have done the train and the walks in one day. However, it is quite rushed. I did enjoy the walks I did, but I do think the coastal walk would have been nice. However, it was very muddy, the walks I did, so I'm not sure how muddy the coastal walks would have been. But yeah, if you want to do both, get the first bus into the national park as soon as it opens. I think the first one leaves at 9. I just missed it like by 2 minutes, so I had to get the 10 o'clock bus because they only go once an hour. But yeah, lovely national park. As you can see, it does seem quite expensive though for what it costs, considering there's national parks in Patagonia that are apparently nicer and free. But it's how they make their money, so we'll wait for the bus. Okay, so I'm now at the train station. It wasn't actually a long drive, I'm here very early. But it's so cute. So it's the train station at the end of the world. It's got all the different flags. Can't board yet. So a bit of backstory from what I know. Apparently you get a lot more information on the train. It was made for the prisoners because they would get the train to the end of the line at the end of the world and they would cut down the trees. I don't know what they used the trees for yet. I will let you know. But that's what they did. All the trees that were cut down in Ushuaia, the prisoners cut down as their form of work. We have got an old uniform there. So yeah, it should be good, should be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. And they also give you a free hot chocolate after. I just realised I didn't zoom out, so this is very close. Hello. They give you a free hot chocolate after, which I will be getting because it will be very cold later. So yeah, I'll see you on the train. Okay, so I made it onto the train. It's a steam locomotive. And we're at our first stop. So, what did I learn on the first little bit of the journey? I learned that originally the journey was 14 kilometers on the train from the town of Ushuaia. However, we only do 7 kilometers now. The prisoners did this journey every day. It was originally in 1892 or 94. They started the prisoners down here, and they were just in a wooden hut by the sounds of it. It was supposed to be like they moved the prisoners and their families and they came willingly. However, they then started bringing people that did serious crimes and didn't want to come willingly. So it kind of made the whole idea of the trip not what they wanted. But yeah, it's been gorgeous so far. And now we're at our first stop. We get to have a little walk around, look at some viewpoints. Thank you. Okay, so you can look at a little waterfall. There's 2 viewpoints. I've just done the first one. I'll put the clip in of what it looks like. Walk down these stairs, walk up different stairs to the other viewpoint. So I've come down from the second lookout for the waterfall now. It's definitely better at the second one because it's higher, obviously. But I've seen a lot of waterfalls and I want to see what else there is, so we're coming back down quick. So they also make you take a picture with a couple of actors that act like prisoners, and then they wanted to charge the equivalent of £12 for this picture, and they were like, but it's fine, it comes with 500 pictures of around Ushuaia. I said, I've probably got more than that on my phone. So I didn't pay the £12 for a picture, but they printed it off anyway. So they just got a random picture of me, put it off now. But look at this. We've got the train, we've got the lake, we've got the mountain, and we've got some workers just chilling there. What more do you need? So now that the train has stopped and we've got to the end of the line, the engine at the front has come off, gone to the line next to us. It's reversing back so we can turn around. So a lot of people are doing tours. I'm not doing a tour and I can't get back because the last bus is the one that I'm getting from the station. So I have changed seat to someone that's left, so I'm now facing the way we're going and I'm on the other side of the train so I can get the different views for the journey back. I think it will be just as nice, if not nicer. It doesn't stop on the way back, so you don't get any stops. Sorry, I'm just cleaning the mud off my trousers. Yeah, it doesn't stop on the way back, so it's slightly quicker. I have liked the train. I have found it very fun. Being on a steam train and seeing the park from a different perspective and learning about the history. However, I do think it's overpriced. Like, it cost like 38, basically £39. And then they try and charge you extra for everything. I think if it included just one other thing, so like either the transfer to and from the city, or your pictures even, or even the entrance ticket, because you have to have the entrance ticket even if you don't get off the train. I think if it included one of them, it'd be more worth it. Either way, I have enjoyed it and I'm glad I did it. But yeah, very expensive, but still would do it, especially if you like trains. I think it's been fun and the views have been amazing. And now we'll be off soon. So here we have got the carriages. These are the economy or the tourist carriages. They have 6 seats in. And then there's 5 sections of 6 seats. And then you can also have another carriage, which, if we can find it, is more expensive. Here you go. So these are just tables that sit against each other. And then you can have lunch service on it. Apparently though, it's like twice the price. It is twice the price. There's no apparently about that. And it's quite rushed. It was quite rushed for what I experienced, and I wasn't eating lunch. But here we are, Estación Fin de Mundo.